and what Zonta International does, and to hopefully gain some knowledge and ideas that you can take back for your club. So that you're not out there by yourself. We have ideas for you, and clubs can share their ideas. Unfortunately, you have to listen to me. We had a personal situation, and so I am available, and I am presenting the talk today. And we do have Julie Brown is on the Advocacy Committee for District 4, and she is with us today. If you're interested in being part of the District 4 Advocacy Committee, you can notify me, and we can talk about what the Advocacy Committee does, and we'll put you to work. So you can email me if you're interested in helping on the District 4 Advocacy. The district will also, once again, be doing the daily messages through the 16 Days of Activism, which we've done in the past, little short snippets that will go out daily for your club to use and for you to use and to share with each other.
Janice, just a quick question. We have a couple people who said they can't see the presentation. Is there anybody else who cannot see it? If you just want to kind of give a shout out, unmute yourself and shout out if you cannot see the presentation. Okay.
Hi, it's Kathleen. I can see slides.
All right. So I'm sorry, Marianne, I'm not sure what's going on with your end of things, but sorry, Janice, if you want to continue, that would be great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Zonta International also will have available by the end of the month a new Zonta Says No toolkit for club use. Last year they were committed and did a lot with child marriage, and this year they're going to have a new toolkit coming out. You can look at the Zonta International website and the Zonta Says No, and you can look at what they did with child marriage. There's all the information is up there on the website. My entire presentation here with the slides, these all came from the Zonta International and Zonta Says No website. So all this information is available for you in the toolkit. And you can just plug in your name, what you want to say, plug in your club, and your stuff's good to go. And the next slide, Shannon. Are you there, Shannon?
Yes, it just takes a minute to move to the next one. There we go.
Zonta International Advocacy would like to achieve gender equality, empower all women and girls with the Sustainable Development Goal number 5. The 2030 Agenda asserts equality not only as a fundamental human right, but as necessary foundation for a peaceful, prosperous, and sustainable world. Next slide. Might be asking, how does Zonta Advocacy do this? In this slide, the first one is the team and the subject. The first thing you need to do for successful advocacy actions is to identify the team of volunteers and who will be part of that project. It could be your club. You can do this with other clubs in your area, just one club or the entire area, to help with the work and the presentation. And once your team is identified, you select the aspect of violence that you would like to promote to your community. And as I said, they'll have an updated toolkit for your use. The next thing is to plan in the budget. There is an action plan template that's available on the Zonta Says No that you can use. All the information is there for you. You just need to plug in your information, and the toolkit is a great use that you don't have to invent anything yourself. You want to figure out what you want to achieve, how you're going to give it, who do you need to hear this, who are you trying to reach with your message, and what resources do you have in your area that you can use. Number 3 is acting for sustainable change, which is your action, and you select the most appropriate one that you feel will be good for your community or area. Some examples that they gave where you can do presentation, maybe a Zoom at school, since we really can't meet in schools. In my area, you can't go into high schools and schools right now, they don't allow anybody in. You might be able to host a film on Zoom. You might have a prominent speaker that you can have on a Zoom site for everybody to listen. Or you can send letters and petitions to your legislators about certain actions to help with advocacy. So there's many tools that you can already use for your team. Like I said, it's on ZontaSaysNo.com. And you want to document your impact. Together we're stronger, and it's a lot better when we do a global impact. The next slide. And these are some of the partner organizations that Zonta International has. And some other suggestions are the White Ribbon Campaign, Orange Your World. As you see, I have a Zonta Says No t-shirt on. And this was sold by a club in our district. And it's to promote to wear, orange on the 25th of each month to remind people of the Zonta Says No. There's also other organizations that might be available in your area where you live to enhance the Zonta Says No. The next slide. This information, this slide came from the website, is another example of some of the information you'll be able to find on the website. And they also have the store. The Zonta store does sell bracelets and what have you, and things for the Zonta Says No. There are some District 4 clubs that sell some items for the Zonta Says No, and that would be on the website where the Zonta stores are, that you can see which clubs, and you can talk to them directly. They have their information there that you can use. All the pictures and press releases and writing to your legislators, all the PR banners, anything that Zonta Says No, that is all on the website for you. You can just go click on it and paste it into where you want it to do. And I even could do a little bit of that myself, and I'm not too technological savvy, so it's easy to do. It's there for you. We want to make you aware that all this information is there for your use and for your availability. Next slide. Club ideas. This is where I know that a lot of people might know what Zonta Says No, and this is to remind you why we do Zonta Says No. But this is where we'd like to hear from you to give ideas for each other, what your clubs are doing, what you're thinking about doing, what you've done in the past that some other club may be able to use in their area this year. We did this in September, so you would have time to plan for the end of November. I know things might look a little different because of COVID this year, but there are still some things, letter writing to legislators, putting stuff on social media. You'll be able to do that on your website, and hopefully you can move maybe speakers and things that would be relevant for your club to put that online for others to see. And there's also a share your story on the Zonta Says No website that you can click on to get ideas of what other clubs have also done in the Zonta International, not just in your district, but all over the world. And they have pictures and ideas for you to use for that. I'm going to ask Sheena. She has some things that she's going to say that her club has done in the past for the 16 days of activism that might be helpful for you to use in your club.
Okay, ladies, I'll just see if I can throw some things up. So a number of years ago, we did a campaign. I have to share my screen here. So we did a few years ago called the Redress or the Red Dress Project, which was a artist came in from the west of Canada, and she did an installation in our community, and we partnered with our art gallery as well as we've been a partner with the Domestic Assault Review Team Oxford, which is the first responders of violence in our community. And we did this installation and ended up being on CBC. And this installation, which this artist did, is now in the Edmonton Human Rights Museum. So it was quite interesting and a cool partnership that we did. The other thing that we've been doing for the last couple of years are ribbons with our cookies. So everybody loves a great cookie and something to eat to bring them in and have a discussion about violence against women. As well as handing out some swag bags and things like that to our high schools. And those had healthy relationship information along with some swag from our police and some of our partners. So there was lanyards and whistles, and there were a number of, you know, the little things that go over your phone camera so that they can't see you. And the other thing that we've just started the last 2 years is our tree with ribbon. So these are mini Christmas trees that are, see if we can get that up on the screen. Let's get rid of that. So these are kind of tabletop Christmas trees. We also offer just plain trees for anybody who's not celebrating Christmas. And we offer the ribbons, and they can either decorate themselves or our club members decorate the trees, and we send them out to various community partners. So those are just a couple of ideas that our club's been doing over the years, and I think this is a great opportunity for everybody to share what they're doing so that we can, you know, get ideas, because, you know, everything gets old very quickly, and you probably are doing some great things within your various clubs. At the end, if there's time, I can probably bring up the Zonta International website if Janice would like, and we could probably walk you through to where the advocacy tools are. So at this time, if there are other people, I'll turn this back over to Janice, and we can maybe, and I'll also put on everybody's picture back up. If somebody has something that they would like to share, I will turn that over to Janice to take it away.
Is there anybody that would like to share what their club has done in the past, or if you're thinking of things that you know that you're going to do this year for the 16 days? Jane?
Perhaps I could just share one of the ideas that Kitchener-Waterloo Club found very successful, and it's one that could be done this year because it was for each of the 16 days of activism, we had one of our members speak for 1 minute about a form of violence and what we could maybe do to help rid our community of that form of violence. And it was quite effective. Everyone who was in this wore a black T-shirt with the orange ribbon, and then it was posted in social media, so a new one every day. And in fact, we found that very successful, that we actually used it more than 1 year. And I know at least one other Zonta club has used them as well. So I thought that.
Stratford has certainly made use of that.
Sorry, Julie, can you repeat that?
Sorry, I said Stratford has certainly made use of those videos.
So I think that's the other thing, that if you post things on social media, that it can be picked up by other clubs. Kat is on our call today, and so she can probably talk a little bit about, at some point, about some social media opportunities as well.
Joan, Julian.
I'm just going to refer back to Joan or Connie, but they also did an excellent thing last year where, and Joan, you can explain it better than I can, but where you interviewed a variety of persons within the community and their outlook on violence. I thought that was excellent as well. You might want to explain that.
Well, Connie was chair at that point, so maybe Connie would prefer to explain it.
She's eating though.
And she's mute.
No, what we did, we wanted to increase the profile of he for she in our community, and the fact that it's aligned with Zonta. And so we had various male leaders in the community have their pictures taken with the Zonta says no sign plus the he for she sign. And our committee was fabulous in that it helped us, everybody's ideas were different, and brought forth 8 members of the community, which we a variety of facets of the community, and then we featured that person on social media for 2 days at a time. So we had 8 times 2 covered the 16 days.
Kat, would you like to say anything about the social media part? I can't hear you, Kat, if you're talking.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Now? Okay. I have all this technology and none of it works when I need it to. The biggest thing with the social media is if you can, is sharing it with each other, especially with the district, so that I can share it. Still not all of the clubs that have Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. I still don't have all of that information. I'm gonna try and send something out so that I can at least know every single club that has Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, so we can share it. Something that you can do so that you don't have to post things every single day is in both Facebook, actually in all of the social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, you can, probably take you about an hour or so and post everything. You can create posts for everything you want to do for the 16 days and then schedule them to go out at a certain time every single day. That way it's done. And if you get busy with something else, you don't have to rush around to try and post it at a later date. If anybody needs help with that, just let me know. But that's usually what I do for the district. So, because I'm not up posting every morning at 7 o'clock, it's set to go. And that's, I guess, my biggest tip.
Janice, Deb Lutz has something to add to the discussion. Deb?
I posted in the chat that our club recently put up a small billboard in Oil City, and we partnered with the PPC Violence Free Network and Shelter, which is a shelter that helps families that are in crisis. So it has our Zonta Says No message on it, but it also says that we are told to stay home, but what if home isn't safe? And it gives the 800 number for the PPC shelter. We have that up right now, and we're going to keep it up through the end of November.
Deb,
Hi,
if I was just going to ask Deb, if you could take a picture of that billboard, that would be absolutely wonderful, and be able to share it.
I have that. Can I share that on here, or how do you want me to share that?
If you could send it to communications, then we can, have something to post as well.
Sure.
Sorry,
do
Dan.
that.
Sorry, Dan. I think I cut you off. I apologize.
That's no problem. It's Dan from E Club Canada 1. What we're doing is for the last 3 years, I guess, we've worked with the local people, local clubs in the GTA to get various places in the city of Toronto and Mississauga lit up in orange. This year, we're trying to expand that program to see how many places across the whole country that we can get lit up. The object would be lovely to try and get every province in the country to have at least one place lit up. Once we get a place committed, we'll contact the local media to see if they can do a write-up on it, maybe local newspaper, etc., as well as take a picture for us and send us the picture. Once we get pictures coming in, then we can put them on our Facebook pages and media, and then also forward them into district.
Good.
If I could add to that, Niagara Falls is taken care of. So
Yes.
we're doing lighting at Norwich again on the 24th, but we are rethinking the rest of the event. We were a little uncomfortable having something inside, even though Niagara Parks said we could with restrictions, but now Ontario has limited gatherings even further. So we're thinking of maybe doing something very small at the falls distance, but we're not quite sure yet. It may end up being a speaker online. And then some members of the club will go to the falls and take some photos and then send to the media afterwards, but we're still working that out.
Right. We will not try not to step on anybody's toes.
Yeah, we realize there's 20 clubs across Canada, so we've already got a list of those, and so we want to make sure that if those
Yeah,
clubs,
that's great. No, I was just saying, don't worry about Niagara Falls, not stepping on any toes at all.
no, I realize.
But we don't want to duplicate our work.
Yeah, but that's amazing though. That'll be incredible.
Yeah, good idea.
And every year, hopefully we can expand it to a few more places.
Yeah. So we've got quite a long list of potential, monuments and bridges and city halls that are being lit up now. So it's a matter of working on the applications.
Marion, you said something about application. Do you have something formalized in print?
Well, in the last few years, we've applied an online application for illumination to the CN Tower, the Toronto City Hall, and the 3D Toronto sign. Many of the cities have online applications that you can do, and some of them don't. So it's a matter of sometimes you have to just email them and ask for a request, but they all have different processes.
Okay, thank you.
To ask for illuminations.
Oh, got it. Thank you.
Does anyone else have some ideas that we could share, that you would like to share what your club has done or thinking about doing? Joan?
Janice, I'll just share an event for last Thursday in Kitchener-Waterloo. We do a Take Back the Night once a year. I'm not sure if which other communities do Take Back the Night. And it's usually a march from one city to the other. And of course, we couldn't do that this year. And so it's organized by a number of groups. It was headed up by the Sexual Assault Support Center this year, and Zonta was one of the participating groups. So this year they had a scavenger hunt of sorts, and to get people out and about, to get the message out in the community, but to not have people in groups. And so it was from 10 in the morning until 11:45 at night. And there were 12 organizations involved. And for each organization, there was a poster with a message on it. And the poster was posted somewhere in the Twin Cities. And the idea was you walk from one to the other. And when you get to one of the posters, you post it on social media. And so it was the first time that this had been tried. And there were a few hitches, but in fact, it was one new idea to try and get people out in the community. And all these posters were there with a message on them and about the organization that was sponsoring that poster. So that is yet another idea that people could build on.
Joan, quick question. How did you know how to get from one poster to the next poster? What were the clues?
Oh, very good question. The day before, the Sexual Assault Center posted a map of the Twin Cities, and the star were each about where each of the posters was. I must admit, I did not find all 12. I now know where all 12 were, but I didn't find all 12. So they weren't exactly, because the map was fairly small, so they weren't exactly on the street and the corner that you expected it. And I started out expecting they were going to be in windows and missed one that was on a post. So, you know, they were posted, some in windows, some on lampposts, but there was this map, so you knew about where each one was.
Cool.
I'd be happy to get information for people if anyone wanted to try something similar. It wasn't the only sexual assault center in Ontario that tried it, but there was at least one other doing the same kind of project.
I know the Zonta Club of Corey places a Zonta Says No banner across their street in their main street, and it's up for several weeks. The city will do that. They just got permission, and it's a huge banner that goes across the street. It's well, it's a simple thing to do. It's easy once you have the banner. It doesn't take a lot.
Hello. I'm actually from the McMaster Golden Z Club, and I just wanted to share like what we did last year for 16 Days of Activism, and it was only about just raising awareness in the university, so about what 16 Days of Activism is, and then what Zonta Club is as well. So we simply had a booth set up, and we had some interactive activities, and which will allow them to know different facts about what 16 Days of Activism is, when did it begin, when did it start, what is it about. And then we also had them sign a petition and play a game, so kind of have them interacting activities, so they're more keen to learn about it. And then we asked them to follow us later on onto our page as well as Zonta. So that was a little thing that we did just to raise awareness about it in the university environment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody else have any ideas?
I don't know what happened to Judy, but she seemed to start to say something, but I don't know where she went.
Governor Janice, it's Kathleen. May I offer a suggestion?
Sure.
Thank you so much. One of the things that we talked about at our last advocacy meeting within the club was to acknowledge the fact that there will probably be very few face-to-face meetings, social gatherings in the next little while. So let's maximize our social media. We all get messages from different sources, from different webinars we have attended, from different pieces of information, and we sometimes keep them to ourselves. So what we talked about was saying every time we get something of interest through our social media, whether it's through Facebook or perhaps some of our news feeds, is that we simply just push that out. As simple as that, by taking the opportunity to use social media to our advantage and just saying, let's not keep the message to ourselves. If we think it's something relevant to do with women's issues and advocacy, simply cut, paste it, and send it along. And if you can verify the source, that's great. And if not, you simply state, source not verified, but thought you might find this of interest. It's just a way of, it's very simple. It's going to take a lot of effort, but at least it's getting people to start seeing the same kind of messages. And what we wanted to do was ask every member to do that, and then just keep a count, like a little tick count of how many times you send a message out. And by the end of November, let's see how many messages we sent out. That's simple, and maybe it's just helpful. That's all.
Thank you. Joanne. Joanne, go ahead.
Sorry. I was looking at Sheena. I hear this voice coming from somewhere. Just an extension of, and basically, I think we were very inspired by Niagara Falls because Kitchener-Waterloo has enjoyed a trip to Niagara Falls on November the 24th or whatever the date happened to be, or 25th, for several years. And obviously, it might not be something we can do this year, but one thing that we did, and we could extend it from our experience there, is in the city of Waterloo, we actually have lights in downtown Waterloo. And again, through our advocacy committee last year and the year before, they've encouraged the city to turn those lights orange. And we chose a day in which we assembled actually in downtown Waterloo. Now, obviously the assembly part might not be there, but this year because of COVID, but certainly it's sort of leading off from what Niagara Falls did with the falls turning orange, or what Marion and Dan were suggesting as far as main monuments or specific buildings or whatever in different communities. But I know it's something we were able to do. And just in thinking of that, I was thinking back to, and now this is going to show my age, but back to when we wanted to turn everything yellow. And if you remember, Oakville in particular was a real group that was very diligent in turning Oakville yellow. And maybe what we need, maybe an idea would be to get, excuse me, different businesses or whatever, turn something orange, or whether it's putting up a poster inside their window or something like that, saying no to violence against women. That might be one way of turning a city orange. It might not be big lights and whatever, but maybe a poster in a window could accomplish, again, the awareness to the community of the Say No to Violence Against Women. Just a thought.
Good idea. Sheena, did you want to try to bring up the website? And if somebody has something that, while you're doing that, if someone else has any ideas, they can still continue to share.
I can do that. All right. Let me just minimize this. Sorry, ladies. Oh, can I do that? All right. So this is the new Zont International website. So if you haven't seen it before, you'll notice that they are using a lot more of the centennial colors, and we're moving away from the mahogany color. So you're going to want to go to My Zonta, and I'll try to move that over from my, And there's a number of tabs here you want to go into tools. So right now, I'm set up that I can access my Zonta is kind of up all the time. But you would normally go to your My Zonta, and you would put in your email address and your password. And from that, you would get into this area, this tool area. You could select one of these various avenues to get into. So you'll see on the page that advocacy is at the top of the list. And you'll just click on this. And from here, there is a Zonta Says No, Ending Child Marriage Tools. And there's a bit of information about various advocacy, what it is, our policies and guidelines, various resources here, some positioning papers, the Women's Empowerment Principle, and for all of you in the States, the USA Caucus Advisory Material. There's some information here for you as well. I know that they're trying to do a lot around the ending child marriage. But back up at the top here, it takes a little bit for time delay on the screen when I scroll it. But if you go into Zonta Says No, and it takes a moment here to bring up, you'll have all kinds of different opportunities. So Zonta's vision, some information, the donate button, obviously, take action. So here are your public relation tools, and there will be various things. So the various logos, the social media images, some infographics, a lot of these things that we have seen in the past, a PowerPoint. So you can investigate all of those. I'm not going to bring them up because of the delay in time. But again, there's some other advocacy tools here. The UN Women tools, advocacy tools, Council of the European tools. Get the facts. And so this is a lot of information about child marriage. We have a video. There's a lot of the myths and facts. This is sites primarily about ending child marriage. So again, a lot of these things you can, I'm not sure if it's going to come up or not, but if you right-click any of these images, you can then go and I'll bring up a save the image as or a copy the image. You can copy the image, put it into a Word document, then save that image in the Word document as a picture, and then use it on your for some of your promotion. And back to the top, this is Zonta's in action, and this is where you can share your story. If you come in here, you can click on this. I'm not sure if this is going to take too much time to bring up. And here's the information that you would then put in and then send off to Zonta International. Some various questions that they'll ask, and event activity and description is here, and submit, as well as a photo. So you have to be, kind of very clear, concise, and to the point, but it is a way of getting our message out. And this is also where Zonta International will be posting some of the various activities that are going on around the world. And it's always nice to see somebody post from your own district or your own area. So I encourage everybody to post something or send some stuff off to Zonta International. So again, just scrolling back to the top. And that's about it. So again, any of those areas you can go in, take a look. It's very easy. So again, just go into the My Zonta, go to the advocacy tools, and you can find out, kind of investigate all kinds of different resources there. Does anybody have any questions?
I can't see your face, but go ahead. Oh, Joanne. You're muted.
Sorry, it's not a question. I was going to say another. I haven't been on lately, but I know way back when Zonta Says No started, Rutgers University was one of the first organizations that did a lot with Say No to Violence Against Women. So you might want to do some searching on Rutgers University. They might have ideas, because they at one time they used to have a major booklet of ideas and things to do for Zonta or for saying no to violence against women. So just an idea. It might be another place to search for some other ideas that you might want to use.
Good idea. Connie?
Some months ago, our UN International Committee put out a questionnaire, was sent to all the advocacy folks, and we were to ask women's shelters in our area to fill out the questionnaire so that the UN International Committee could get the statistics for how much violence against women has gone up during COVID. Is how could we find out the results of their report and incorporate that in our Zonta Says No messages?
I don't have the definite answer to that, but I'm sure if we check with the advocacy committee of Zonta International, they would have those results if they're tabulated. I can certainly try to find out for you what those results are.
It was the UN committee that was doing the questionnaire.
Okay.
UN International.
I will find out.
Because it would be, I think if we're putting out social media about Zonta Says No, I think including those stats would be a good thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Agree.
Connie, the results are under the tools under UN.
There we go. There's the answer.
Okay, it's public under them.
Thank you, Margaret. Does anybody have anything else they would like to say or share? If not, I thank you for participating in the D4 talks on the 16 days. I'd like to thank the Golden Z Club members for participating and hope that you'll come back to the other sessions that we have. You're always welcome to join us, District 4. And I thank you for spending your time with us. And if you have any suggestions, comments, positive, negative comments, I'd appreciate those to help us to make things better. And if there's something that we missed that you would like to see on another one or hear, how the presentation goes, then please forward that information to me so we can make it better for you as members. Does anybody have anything else? Sheena.
I was just going to say before we leave, if everybody can turn their cameras on, we can maybe take a picture, and we're not all together. We're sort of together this way, and we'll take a picture, and I'll see about getting something posted up.
Okay.
Oh, come on, you shy people. Let's go. Hairstyles are not, don't worry about the hairstyle.
Okay, Joanne.
Oh, very good, Joanne. Very good. Again, all you have to do is move your cursor around. Should be, 4 little things at the bottom. Okay, so then we got some shy people. Okay, well, that's fine. You ready? So everybody, you got 3, 2, 1, smile. All right, we got a picture taken. All right, thank you, ladies, for indulging me.
before everybody goes, I just wanted to ask from Joan, could you tell how can we contact you to find out more about this scavenger hunt?
You're muted, Joan.
Joan, unmute.
Unmute.
Sorry. You can contact me by email, Westcott J, so my name with a J at the end of it, at rogers.com, and Rogers is Rogers.
Joan,
Okay.
Joan, if you wanted to send me any information, what I can do is post that on our website under the advocacy area.
I'll do that, Sheena.
So just an
Thank you.
FYI, give me a little time, ladies. The website's still under development, so, but I
I
can
know,
get
but
it up there.
I think we put out some good ideas for things we can do.
I think so
I
too.
think this is very helpful.